Hi, it's Rudi from Better Music. I'm here today with Damon and McMahon from Casio, and this is the third video in the series talking about the new Casio Grand Hybrid digital pianos. The GP-500 in particular we've been talking about. There's also the GP-300 model, which also is in the range. We have here in front of us the one and only action model in the world. And the reason why we've got it here for you today is to actually show what's gone into this piano. This is one of the main reasons that this piano is unique. We have a complete marriage of two technologies. We have an acoustic grand piano action that's been developed in conjunction with Bechstein, fitted into a digital piano with incredibly realistic sounds. So basically, we've got the best of both worlds. I'll probably say it too many times, but that's what it is. So, Damon, can you tell me a little bit what's gone into the design of this and to what lengths Casio have gone to recreate such a realistic piano experience for the consumer?
Yeah, sure, Rudi. Look, first of all, the level of collaboration between Casio and Bechstein is completely involved. The keyboard action itself, the wooden keys are actually full length from the front to the rear of the action, exactly the same length, within a millimetre, literally, of an acoustic grand piano action by Bechstein. The keyboard is made from Austrian spruce, again, Bechstein standard, beautiful timber. The same drying processes have also been used as per Bechstein standards and requirements. Also, the keys are individually numbered from 1 through to 88, right up the keyboard there, and that is a sign of the single piece of timber. The same tree has been used to make each action, which is just delivers a really high level of consistency and quality control. Again, another Bechstein requirement.
So this would be the same process they'd use for the action in the real Bechstein grand pianos?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Same process, yeah.
And just looking at it here, I can see here that we've got all the familiar things that you'll find in a real grand piano action. So you've got real key, you've got felts under here, you've got key bushings, and I also noticed this what's different from other digital pianos that may have wood in their keyboard designs is that the keys are actually, because they're real grand piano keys, they're not just straight keys. You've got the curvature of the keys here around the frame components. So the design it really gives you that same feel as a real grand piano.
Exactly. For players, it will be very, very familiar. Literally, it's almost counterintuitive. When you sit down and play, you are subconsciously expecting a digital piano action, but what you actually get is an acoustic grand piano feel from the action.
Right.
And it's quite remarkable.
So what have they done? So obviously we've got the realism of the real action, and how have they married that to the technology in terms of how responsive is it to the player's touch, in terms of how they made this transfer to the digital piano, in terms of, obviously we've heard in the sound videos that the sound is very detailed. Sure. How have they married the two together? Okay,
so for example, not only is it, as we've talked about, wooden keys and the same length and the same angles, but even at the back here, and you can see from the cutaway action here, there is in fact an actual hammer that again is the same length, the same weight even, as acoustic grand piano actions, that is flying up as part of the action that delivers the same physical balance and the same response. And that allows it, again, to be completely familiar for musicians to sit down and play. Even the key bed itself is also from the same Austrian spruce as Bechstein.
And I noticed that on the hammers, like on a real grand piano, the hammers are shaped differently from the bass to the treble. Obviously these hammers aren't wool because they don't need to be, because they're not actually hitting strings, but the weighting is the same, and you can notice down the bottom that the actual hammers are heavier and shaped differently from the hammers up in the treble. So obviously that's designed to give the same feel as a real wool hammer in a real grand piano.
That's right, exactly. Right. And again, you probably can't see in this level of detail, but there are in fact 3 vertical struts in this hammer here. This is one of the bass hammers you'll see in this action. The hammers up towards the top of the piano, which are designed to feel lighter as per acoustic grand piano, actually have just 2 struts, and they're much thinner and lighter, so the hammer is allowed to be smaller and lighter to reproduce that same balance.
So in terms of the mechanism we have, so we've got all the realistic design of the piano action, as we know it is basically a piano action, and the way that it transmits and plays the digital piano sound? Is it they're using a sensor? It's like a triple sensor, I understand.
Yes, that's right. It's Casio's tri-sensor hammer action here.
Right.
So not only is there the sensor that detects the note off and the note
Yep.
on,
Yep.
but also senses the speed at which the hammer is moving through that
Right.
action. So.
And in terms of the the repetition rate and the tracking of the sound, how fast is it?
It will actually track at well over 20 repetitions per second.
Right, okay.
About the fastest repetition capabilities of the best concert artists in the world in classical piano is around about 14. So it can actually well exceed the playing characteristics of an
Right.
acoustic grand piano.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that we've got the feel of a real grand piano, but the speed at which the brain of this instrument can generate the sound is perhaps faster than some pianos.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
Which, it's never going to be tested, the outer limits of what it can do, because it's humanly not possible to repeat or trill a note that fast.
Yeah.
But the capability is there, which is, just allows you to not have to limit your playing technique.
Right. Well, look, I mean, this is a real key factor. I mean, we have in the market today, we've got an instrument that traditionally digital pianos in the past have had technology where, they've been pretty good and they've gotten very good over the years. But what we've got now is we've really got the best of both worlds. But the other key factor with this is that we've got this technology available at prices that aren't unrealistic, and certainly prices that can attract buyers that may perhaps have bought a traditional acoustic piano that like the advantages of a digital piano, i.e. the computer connectivity, headphone operation. But there'd be buyers perhaps that may not have chosen a digital piano in the past because they thought that the feel and the action weren't quite up to scratch. So looks like this product could, really satisfy some new customers out there that are, want a real piano.
It does really, yeah. And I mean, we'd all love an acoustic grand piano, but aside from space and size and also sound volume, possibly disturbing neighbours late at night in an apartment building, there's also the affordability aspect. And these pianos are incredible value, especially given the playing experience that they deliver.
Look, thanks very much, Damon, for coming along and actually letting us have this one in the world action model that's been shipped over to us just for this video. It's going to be in store for a while, so if you're interested in coming in and having a look at it and seeing how it works, please do so. Once again, thanks very much for watching, and thank you, Damon.
Thanks, Rudi.
And you can play back high fidelity wave file and also record wave file. So anything you play on the instrument can be recorded as a high quality recording straight to wave. On top